Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the penultimate race of the season in the Colgan Racing Xperience. We've got a good one for you tonight here. Super Speedway action taking place at the Auto Club Speedway here in Fontana, California. So glad you could join us here on the Slide Job Racing Network, as well as the Colgan Racing Xperience Facebook page. Maurice Callow with you, and yes, it is good to be back. It's been a while since I was last with you here with all the busy schedule that I've been going through and a lot of that, but it's good to be back here. We've got 2 races left to go, and the man that everybody is talking about here at the moment is the guy in car number 17. It was Kendrick Cryer that ran it last week. This week, though, it is being driven by Steele Langford to try and help extend the points lead here. Qualifying, as we mentioned, taking place at the moment. Jeff Byers currently quickest in car number 94. Last time I was with you, Jeff Byers pulled off the last lap, last pass stunner on both Kendrick Cryer and Aaron Raymond to get the job done. But Jeff Byers is the quickest. Just went on one more driver left to qualify here. That's Kyle Bartels, and then we'll get things set to go here with heat action. Steele Langford clocks in 7th quick. Jimmy Johnson goes to 3rd. Joe Hurd, meanwhile, in car 97, coming across the start-finish line right now. And he goes to 12th at a 49.31. 1:15 left in qualifying, but you see the point standings. They'll show up here on the bottom of your screen in just a moment, but it's been Kendrick Cryer all season long, dominating the year, helping that number 17, owned by Austin Edwards, stay up at the front of the field. He comes in with over a 100-point advantage. Ignore what's on the bottom of your screen. Didn't get a lot of time to update the ticker here. A 118-point advantage on Steven Rex in car number 27. Billy Snodgrass is 3rd, 131 back. Kenny Tripp 4th, 227 back. Aaron Raymond 5th, 239 back. That's the car numbers: 17, 27, 99, 52, and 10. We're looking forward to seeing how this one goes. Kyle Bartels will not qualify, which means Jeff Byers will start on pole position in car number 94. Alrighty, so with that being said, we are just about ready to go for heat action here at the Auto Club Speedway. Let's meet the field and give you your starting lineup here. One heat full of 15 drivers here today, so this will set the starting lineup for today's race. And here's how they look. Jeff Byers starts on pole position. He is in car number 94. Next to the driver, the 99, that is Billy Snodgrass. Row number 2, Jimmy Johnson in car 39. Next to the 27 of Steven Rex. Row number 3, Blake Wynn in car 74. Next to the 13 of Tyler McRae. Row number 4, Aaron Raymond in car number 10. Next to Travis Sukup in car number 13. Rounding out the top 10 on the grid this evening is Steele Langford in car number 17. Next to John Brancaccio, Johnny B is in the 62. Row number 6 is R. Hendren in car 37. Next to Joe Hurd in the 97. Row number 7, Chris Johnson in the 54. Nick Jazabowski next to him in the 82. Rounding out the grid this evening in car number 88, that is Kyle Bartels. Again, here's how our normal race of the Colgan Racing Xperience goes. It's qualifying, then heats. Tonight's heats will be lasting for 6 laps. We'll then follow our warm-up, which will give the drivers an opportunity to find their pit stall for our feature tonight, which is set at 60 laps. So, just about ready to go. Everyone gearing up and making their way onto the track for their lone pace lap. So field makes their way on to the racetrack. Let's break down the Auto Club Speedway, a 2-mile D-shaped oval. Super speedways and street stocks, when you put them together, everyone wants the low side as much as they can. Also combine the fact that as well the street stocks can go wide open at Auto Club. And it's all about the draft. If you're not in the draft, you don't have a shot to win it. So of course this track will be temporarily turned into, actually is currently going in real life renovations, I believe, of the short track that looking forward to seeing that in a couple years time with the high banking and stuff like that. But 2-mile racetrack, banking 11 degrees on the front stretch, 3 degrees on the back stretch, 14 degrees in the corners. iRacing pace car makes the left-hand turn to pit road. Again, this is to determine our starting lineup this evening for our feature, which is set for 60 laps. Green flag is out. Heat 1 is underway. See the field, 2 wide. Langford wants to fan out, go 3 wide. There's contact with the 10. Now remember, the 17, the 10 have had a lot of beef this season. While it's been Cryer in the race car in the 17 that's been dealing with the beef of Aaron Raymond. Richmond Cryer intentionally took out Aaron Raymond, and then the final laps of Phoenix a couple weeks ago, the two were battling for the win, and Raymond decided, and Raymond was in the lead. Cryer was in second. Cryer moved Raymond up the track. Raymond then took him out, providing him a chance at a top 3 finish. And in the end, it was Jeff Byers that scored the win. Lap number 1 goes up on the board. It's lap of the 99 of Billy Snodgrass. High side with a slight advantage. One higher car now making the low side as Aaron Raymond decides to change lanes from high to low. Jeff Byers goes up the track just about a half a lane or so, which affects the momentum of the low side. Could help out the driver of car number 99 in Billy Snodgrass. Chuck, that could actually help the 27 to Stephen Rex, and he has a teammate in Tyler McRae pushing him. However, though, decides not to go to McRae, switches lanes underneath, and that's tight between the 45 and McRae, the 39 and Johnson. And Johnson is loose. Sparks fly. And somehow he makes a great save. Now Langford is loose, mows the lawn in California. Up the track he goes and hangs on to it. And that was just a quarter of a lap. Quickest guy on the racetrack is car number 88 of Kyle Bartles with a 48.13. Looking for win number 1 on the season. Right on board with him. Top speed of over 150 miles an hour. Of course, he's lined off to avoid the bump draft going into the corners. Now you see everyone obviously double wide at the moment, but we could see a possibility of somebody taking a risk and deciding to go the third groove, the extreme third groove, only recommended during the final lap of a race. But it's dropping bomb teammates Stephen Rex and Tyler McRae that are door to door, followed by teammates Billy Snodgrass and Blake Wynn in row number 2. Second pack decide to stay in the back. That was Brancaccio, Sukup. We'll check that. It was actually Jazoboski, Hurd, and Sukup. And then a wreck happens in front of the field, which they nearly got. Chris Johnson, the 54, just about sideways in turn 4. You see Johnson try to test out the third groove. Hang on, our Hendren. The number 37, extremely squirrely in turn number 4. The car got light, luckily makes a good save. He's back in the 11th position. 4 to go in our heat race. And that car is really tight. Entering the corners, he gives up 11th to Jimmy Johnson. Oh, look at this risky move. Risky move by one of the MPI drivers. That's Blake Wynn looking for this race lead. Remember, the white line rule is in effect. You can go below it. Just don't pass anyone below it. And that is tight contact between Rex and Wynn. Not Rex and Snodgrass, as it's 3 wide for second. Make it 3 wide for fourth. There's just 3 laps to go in this heat race. And that is technically, when it comes to heat racing, a long way to go. A pole position is on the line. Keep in mind, if a wreck does happen, there will be no yellows in this heat race. We will keep it green. It's still McRae and Sukup that share that front row. So you watch from one of our 2 drones on the racetrack, one of our 3 drones, I should say, on the track. That third lane working well for Blake Wynn. The push comes for the 17 to steal Langford. 3 by 3, Raymond touches with the 27. Everybody hanging on for right now. This time by, coming off at 4. White flag flies with, 2 laps to go in heat race number 1. And this is a fun heat race. Biggest mover currently, the 54, Chris Johnson. 3rd car in the middle line in that black and blue ride in the 6th position. Could possibly be a threat to win it here. A lot of side drafting. Jimmy Johnson side drafting off the 94 of Jeff Byers. And the side draft works really well here at Auto Club Speedway as the field makes their way to turn number 3. I've got a good feeling once they cross the line for the white flag, all hell is going to break loose. We'll see what happens here. The dropping bomb teammates, bump drafting, everything they can do off of turn number 4. White flag flies this time by, 1 to go. Steven Rex leads at the line. Who leads at the checkers, though, is the question. Somebody is going to bang doors off at turn number 2. Who's it going to be? I'm not too sure, but I don't think we're going to see 12 drivers come across the line in this lead pack. But we're about to see what happens. Sukup McRae tries to side draft off the 27. There goes McRae. He gets turned into the grass. Oh, he pancakes the left side. But the race is on between Steven Rex and Blake Wynn, who is starting on the pole for tonight's 60-lap feature. We're about to find out. Rex gets a little bit loosey-goosey. 3 by 3 by 3 coming to the start-finish line. Shorter way through for the 27. Way too close to call. It's Steven Rex by thousandths of a second. As they go like crazy. Just past the line, Steven Rex wins the heat race and is on pole for the feature. I want to see how close that was at the end. We know it was in the thousands, obviously. That was lap number 4, I'm sorry. Here's how close it was. Oh, I think it was actually the 74. Timing had it. As the 74, it is Steven Rex by, oh my goodness, it came down to the 10,000th mark. What do you think if you're Blake Wynn and you lose by .000? Then here's the wild wreck with the 99 and company. Warm-up is underway for the drivers to find their pit box. While we're at it, I'm going to mute my mic. Let us know as well in the chat, whether it be YouTube or Facebook, who you're rooting for. Stay tuned. Feature coming up in just a moment. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, well, we're set to go racing here. 60 laps around the corner here. Pardon me, at the Auto Club Speedway. Let's meet the field and give you the starting lineup for tonight. On the pole, it's Steven Rex in car number 27, and he's next to 74 of Blake Wynn. Row number 2, Aaron Raymond in the number 10, next to Steele Langford in the number 17. Row 3, Billy Snodgrass in car 99, next to Chris Johnson in the 54. Row 4, Jimmy Johnson in the 39, and Kyle Bartels in the 88. A look at row number 4, rounding up the top 10 rather. Jeff Byers in car number 94, next to Johnny B. John Brancaccio in the 62. Row number 6, R. Hendren in the number 37. He's next to Joe Hurd in the 97. Row number 7, Travis Suka in the 13. Tyler McRae in car number 45. Rounding out the field on the grid for our feature this evening, Nick Jazoboski in car 82 as the field starts to roll off before we go to green for 60 laps. So in just a little over an hour's time, we will know who will take the penultimate race of the season. All right, apologies there. Internet just briefly went out for a moment, but as I was about to say, about to go green here. We'll know in just a little over an hour time who will be our winner this evening. But it's Steven Rex and Blake Wynn that will bring the field to green here for tonight's 60-lap feature. Field makes their way off at turn number 4. As we say, where else would you rather be than right here, right now? The iRacing pace car makes the left-hand turn of pit road. We're doing this California dreaming and this Colgan Racing Xperience. Wynn and Rex bring us to green. Showtime in Fontana. Field stays 2 by 2 as they make their way into turn number 3. It's Rex and Wynn pretty much doing a pace lap at speeds of 145 miles an hour. As they make their way off at turn number 4. Wynn tried to side draft, it didn't work. Steven Rex, I think, will lead lap number 1 here. Got a little loose off the bumper of Aaron Raymond, but Rex gets those bonus points for leading the opening circuit. Lowest car count here of the season. I have a feeling it probably has to. Oh, hang on a second. Early in the race, Rex moves one up the track. I think the 27 got really tight going into the corner. And that gives the lead to the 10 of Aaron Raymond, who has a push from Chris Johnson in car 54. Everybody kept it straight. Remember, this is a long race, 60 laps. This is like the length of a Gatorade Duel or something like that. So drivers just have to learn, gotta be patient. If you're in it, you have a chance to win it. But it's Aaron Raymond out in front in car number 10. Will today be the day he finally gets that first win of the season? As he's come close so many times. You look at Richmond, you look at Martinsville. What other tracks do you think of here? You think of Phoenix. When is he going to get that win? Will tonight be the night? We're going to find out. But you see everyone trying to single file up here on that low side, just above that white line. Chris Johnson now moves up. Oh, this is risky. Thought about throwing the needle, but got to be better than that. Leaves the 27 hung out up on that third groove. It's 3 wide for second, and this helps out the 74 of Blake Wynn. Try and give a little bit of a push to the 10. Raymond still continues to lead. Probably biggest mover at the moment after 3 laps. You've got Chris Johnson looking for this race lead, up 5. John Brancaccio up 4. He's in the 6th position. Johnson making that high side work here at the moment. Let's take a ride on board with him. There's the push from the 27 of Stephen Rex. However, though, low side coming in just a little bit better off of turn number 4, which helps Raymond keep this top spot. Third group by Brancaccio. Oh, look out! Johnny B's in the wall. And oh, hard collision for the 27 of Stephen Rex. First caution flag is out. Johnny B got tight in turn number 1. And then I don't think anybody expected Stephen Rex to come up and just pow him in there. But smoke coming out of the 27. His night is done. Johnny B doesn't look too shaken up in that. I think Rex, though, took the most damage of the bunch. Finn will catch up here to the iRacing pace car. Let's take a look for our drone shot and show you this caution flag with Stephen Rex. Ouch. Head on into that safer barrier. So here's what happened. Johnny V just got way tight. Did not expect the 27 to come in there with contact from Blake Wayne. And as Rex is trying to save it, man, that's an eerie crash. Really is. Run up board here with Rex as he's trying everything to save it. And then Johnny B had a good look of it too. Just trying to keep it straight, which is well what he did. And I think when the caution came out, he was actually scored at the Mona Yellow ahead. So drivers making their way all into pit road to top off on fuel. I don't know the exact window here at this racetrack, but if I were to guess, it would probably be just under 60 laps or so, and I think somebody cooked the engine. That probably was Stephen Rex's engine that just blew. Drivers going for 4 tires and fuel. So Chris Johnson, your leader here. When we come back to the green flag, I'm going to mute my mic here and you can listen to some race chatter.
Facebook.
Field ready to take the green flag here as they are down the back chute. Let's reset the lineup here. Chris Johnson, Aaron Raymond, your front row. Blake Wynn, Jeff Byers, row number 2. Kyle Bartels, Nick Jazaboski, row 3. Joe Hurd, Tyler McRae, row number 4. Steele Langford, Billy Snodgrass, round out the top 10.
Tighten it up a little bit, guys. Getting into the corner, and we're going green.
That is race control. Tell him to tighten up. Travis Sukup, Jimmy Johnson, row number 6. Art Hendren, 13th. John Brancaccio restarts from 14th.
How far are you going to push me up the track, buddy?
We're ready for this
Knock it off.
A lot of contact on this restart. And I don't know if Chris Johnson was paying too much attention, but he moved Aaron Raymond up, and the 10 did not like it one bit. And just look at the gaps we've got on this restart. Something you don't really see often. This moves Blake Wynn up to 2nd, and the guy in 4th position, we don't talk about him often. He is in the, I don't know if it's a pickle or a cucumber, but in the number 82, that's Nick Jazaboski having a good race. Currently in that 4th position. It is a pickle, that's right. 4th spot, and now Raymond starts to get a little love tap from the 74 of Blake Wynn. So one caution in the books. John Brancaccio is back on the track. He is currently the last car on the track. He's back to the screen briefly. Stephen Rex still in the pits. 5 minutes right now. He has been in his pit stop stall for. Now we start to see that 3rd group possibly get created. And by the 94 of Jeff Byers. He's working it pretty well, trying to pull up to row 2 with Jazaboski on the higher groove. Currently up there all by himself. Kyle Bartels has made his way up to the 7th position. Langford in 6th. Tyler McRae, remember, spun coming to turn 3 in that white flag lap. And he has recovered to the 5th spot. New quickest lap of the race just belongs to the guy in the final, in the last spot in this lead pack. That's R11 48.26. Obviously, if you're in the back of the pack, you get a better draft, which means you don't even have to lift off normally if you're that far back and you get a gap. So, race for the lead. Chris Johnson on the outside. Aaron Raymond as they bang doors into turn 3. On board here with the 74, Blake Wynn. Here comes a bump draft to Raymond off in turn 4. Lifts the rear wheels off the ground. Man, these guys are racing for the lead like it's the white flag. Oh, that's tight once again. Everybody staying 2 by 2 with a leader's touch. Raymond sideways, he saves it. Everybody lifted off the throttle to help the 10 save it, and Blake Wynn just doesn't trust it. He's going to the rear, and again, Raymond and Johnson.
Warning right now.
And
Cause a wreck, I'm removing you both out of the race.
And they are.
Cause a wreck, I'm just removing you.
They have been warned not to do it again.
With all due respect, I'm doing absolutely nothing. He's just hitting me down straight away. I've done nothing to him this whole time.
Here comes Jimmy Johnson, that 39, looking for the race lead.
Really, dude?
And now it's Johnson and
guys.
McRae that touch.
Keep racing.
My, oh my, this is something interesting. This has helped Jimmy Johnson try and take advantage in car number 39 as he looks for the race lead. And it may pay off for him as Johnson and Raymond are still door to door. We're going to watch this very closely. Oh, netcode between Johnson and McRae. The 45 saves it. You could tell that was clearly not a netcode situation. But now you see as well that right side door damage on the 10 of Jimmy Johnson. May get a better idea here from one of our cooler onboard cameras that we like to use at super speedway races, just to show you the side drafting. There you see it there. So right along with Chris Johnson, the damage Aaron Raymond has from that contact. Johnson trying everything to give the 54 a push, and let's watch the side draft again closely. Oh man, very, very tight. Drop bombs drivers working well together. Now our third groove starts to create up. Langford leads it. Nick Jezebowski thinking I may want to go up there too. See if he decides to do that in card number 82. That third groove may start to work here as we're just about 25% of the way through this one. There's a bump draft to Langford in a turn 3. Oh, there goes the 45 of McRae. What a save he just made. Merges back onto the racetrack, but he is down in the 13th spot. McRae said something. We don't know what he said specifically. But now he's going to hope for a caution to get back in it, but they still race for the lead behind that 54 ride. And now he could get swallowed by the 10 of Raymond, who is underneath for that top spot. At the stripe, the 54 by an inch. Wild stuff happening for sure here in Fontana, California. Of course, this is just normal super speedway style racing here. 3 by 3 by 3, and here comes Langford in that 17, who looks for the race lead. He pulled up to the quarter panel of Chris Johnson. Obviously, the lower line gets the advantage entering the corner. And here comes the 10 back once more. As you look from one of our drones on the racetrack. 74 Blake Wynn below the white line just to pick up some clean air. Tight between Johnson and Raymond, as I think the 39 was trying to side draft. But it helps out Raymond get a slight advantage. He pulls up front by just about a door in the center of 1 and 2. Chris Johnson, though, still with a slight advantage. And there's only 2 drivers in the meat of the sandwich. Johnson now cuts down low in front of the 10. And this 54 sideways, I'm not sure if the 10 bump drafted them or not, if there was a net code or something. But that got nearly too tight. Raymond. You can hear him all over the rev limiter. 156 miles an hour in the corner that time. We did have some drivers pit on lap number 6. Will it play into a fuel strategy possibly? We'll just have to see. Remember, yellow flag flew on just about lap 5 for a 2-car accident between John Brancato and Stephen Rex. Man, Langford nearly up on the dirt, or in the dust, I should say, and he nearly kissed the safer barrier. Moves down to 6, and now turns down to 2 grooves, but Langford never going to give up. wants to keep that third groove working. Currently scored in 4th position as things stand. How about the 97, the Facebook entry? Joe Hurd having a great run in his ride. Started from the 12th position and has now made his way up into P4. It was actually the ACC entry. So he is up in the 4th position. 20 laps in the books this time by, 40 laps remaining, and it's Chris Johnson out in front. Did not have a good qualifying run at all, and was the biggest mover in the heat that we had. He's trying to hold on to this race lead for now over Aaron Raymond. Johnson's led the most laps so far today. Jimmy Johnson now makes it 3 wide for the 3rd position. But he has got nobody that wants to work with him. I think with the way Raymond and Johnson were racing against each other earlier, and Wynn dropping to the back, I don't think anybody wants to go 3 by 3 by 3 here right now. Joe Hurd pushing Chris Johnson to have that lead by a car length. On board Jeff Byers on the 94, won 2 weeks ago. At Phoenix last week, our winner was the driver of the 17, Kendrick Kreider, helped extend that points lead for Austin Edwards and the EHP team. Raymond with a heck of a push, though. I believe Raymond led that lap barely. The scoring says he did. Ooh, our Hendren sideways in turn 2, and Jazabowski tried to side draft and nearly hit the safer barrier. Johnson trying to take that lead back. With the 27 wrecking pretty much in the 15th spot, that pretty much ends the chances for dropping bombs to get a good chance of this championship, and it's likely wrapped up to that number 17. Next week, a reminder, we are off for Labor Day weekend. However, though, CRX will be back at you on September 12th for our final race of the season. That's at the Langley Speedway. That will feature a back-to-front challenge. Stephen Rex took that challenge earlier on in the season, but came short at the Oxford Plains Speedway. Just have to see if anybody else decides to take it. Jazabowski, 3rd lane working again, and is that Sukup behind the number 13 of his? Have not talked about him yet in the broadcast in that DVR entry. Currently in the 9th position at the moment. But Jazabowski may get this 3rd groove to work off in turn 2. Probably will get to as high as 3rd spot. The field gets down the back. Up to 4th. Remember, he started from last spot in 15th. Got up to 4th. Now he's down to 5th. May see pit stops coming up in just a little bit. We're not too sure yet. Remember, some drivers did pit under the caution flag to top off. Those drivers were Joe Hurd, Steele Langford, Travis Sukup, Art Hendren, Jimmy Johnson, Billy Snodgrass, Tyler McRae, and Johnny Brancaccio. Wynn gives a bump draft to the town of Raymond down the back. Raymond edges out entering turn 3 with the lead. He's been the two that have led pretty much the most laps this entire race. So 12 drivers all in the pack. Then you got 2 drivers by themselves. Remember, Tyler McRae spun in got loose in turn number 4, but made a great save. He's back in the 13th spot. And then John Brancaccio, who, if you just joined us, was involved in our first yellow of the day with Steven Rex. He's been hanging back there by himself, though, currently in the 14th position. We are seeing passes in this race on an average of just about every 2 seconds. Every 2 to 4 seconds, I should say. Higher groove again. Jimmy Johnson, nobody wants to go with him, because everyone does not want to get aggressive at this point. Top 7 drivers, all nose to tail and door to door. Johnson again with that 3rd groove. See if he can get it to work. He can't. Johnson may hang back here by himself. You know, we haven't seen climbing into the top 5 yet in this race. Both Art Hendren and Billy Snodgrass running in 11th and 12th. I think they're playing it patient at the moment. I think they have a gut feeling telling them that a wreck may happen at any point. They just want to make sure they're at the right place in the right time, so they can get on the brakes and dodge a bullet. We'll just have to see. But Billy Snodgrass currently in 11th. 1 win on the season for him that took place at Irwindale. Just at Langford a moment ago. Set his best lap of the day at a 48.32. 3 wide for a moment ago for the race lead. It's Raymond and Johnson. Again, Hoosier to Hoosier. Raymond edges out Johnson at the stripe. If that was a white flag, I think the drivers were probably going to be locked together. Langford again tries that 3rd lane. Doesn't have anything working. 30 laps to go when we come across the start-finish line. Aaron Raymond leads. Chris Johnson 2nd. Blake Wynn 3rd. Joe Hurd 4th. Steele Langford round out the top 5. We're going to turn up the volume here. I'm going to shut up. It's time to crank it up here at Auto Club.
I do find cold air in the middle.
Raymond and Langford side by side for the lead as Chris Johnson went off the track in the 54. He's got a problem with the left front. Just as we came back, issues for the race leader.
That was some shit.
We apologize for the language there. See what happened here to the 54. Oh man, what a lick he took. Pancake the inside safety barrier, a lot like what Tyler McRae did. Let's rewind the footage and see how that happened. There was a bump draft by Hurd, I think, and the top two simply banged doors because of that. Let's see here what a drone shot can do for us. We want an aerial one. Go to this one. Yeah, I think the bump draft lifted the rear tires off the ground and sent Johnson in the 10. That's a tough break for Chris Johnson. Won't get the yellow flag he wanted. And chances for win one of the season are gone. But it's 3 by 3 by 3 for the lead. Joe Hurd in the 97. I want to say he led the lap last time by at the line to lead his first lap of the day. This would be a pretty cool story if the man that started 12th took his first win of the season. Well, like I said at the top of the show, if you're in the draft, you can win it. But look at this, 3 by 3 amongst the front 7, very tight. No margin for error here. Saw Jimmy Johnson trying to side draft off the second car in the middle, which is Blake Wynn, but he decided to let off. So 25 laps to go here at Auto Club Speedway. Pit stops possible, but if drivers have to pit on lap 54 to the checkered, those 7 or 8 drivers that pitted on lap 6, they're going to be thankful. Heard with that nice push from the 94 of Jeff Byers. Does have, though, I believe that is still Win right next to him. Yes, that is. And Win takes the lead at the line. I believe that's his first, if not second lap that he has led ever since he pulled below the white line off of turn 2.
I need a PM, buddy. Just put it out there and open.
Okay, shut up.
McRae and Johnson have a little bit of fun.
Cute message you sent me. Gonna cherish it.
And we're gonna mute the chat here
Somebody's sending love letters.
if we can.
Yeah, he said he got me, so I don't know what he got me, but I hope it's chicken nuggets.
All right. We're good now. We're gonna keep the audio off here from them for the rest of it. Just trying things out here with the 15 car count that we have, as it's still 3 by 3 with 23 to go. Blake Wynn, Joe Hurd, Steele Langford, Aaron Raymond, Jimmy Johnson, that's the top 5. Will a second caution come out before the white flag? Obviously, that's a long ways away, but you just never know what's going to happen here. .22 to go at the line. That time it was Blake Wynn that led the lap by just about 100th. board Joe Hurd. .21 to go as the laps continue to tick down. Wynn continues to lead. Langford a push from Jimmy Johnson. Fellow teammate. Blake Wynn pushed by Aaron Raymond. Joe Hurd pushed by Jeff Byers. Hurd gets a little bit tight, nearly hits the 74. Oh, more contact between, I think that was Johnson and Raymond, that just about touched doors. Loose entering turn 3 with that slight bump. Oh, hard in the wall. Blake Wynn and Joe Hurd, second yellow flies. And that is a tough break. Two guys that had a great shot at winning. Front bumpers all torn up. Simply put, that they hooked. And now their days are done. Well, let's give you an idea on what happened here in slow motion. Top two, one got the quarter panel and nothing they could have done, and that is a heavy impact at about 140, 135 miles an hour or so. Let's get you another shot of that in real time. Oh. That looked so much like the Bill Lester David Ruderman accident. I think this is just about 20 years ago. I think that was at Texas, if not Atlanta. Right on board with Joe. All right, here's the onboard Blake. Nothing they could have done. Top four decide to stay out here in Steele Langford, Aaron Raymond, Billy Snodgrass, Tyler McRae. Heads up, Raymond has yet to pit. Let's get perspective from Joe Hurd here in car number 97. Tough way for him to end his day. Joe, it's Marty up here in the booth. You got a copy?
What's up, man?
Tough break for you there. Just didn't expect that hook coming. Too much of a side draft.
Yeah, I mean, we were racing tight the whole time. Me, Jeffrey, and Kyle were pushing. It just got too tight, ran out of room, man. It is what it is.
Do you feel like you had a chance to win this race?
No, I'll get wrecked somehow in every race here, so false hope.
All right. Well, we'll let you go. Hopefully you get that car fixed, and hopefully we see you back on the track. If not, great job tonight.
Yeah, appreciate it.
So Joe Hurd in the number 97. Glad to see him keep his head up high after that one. So 19 to go. We're going to unmute race chatter so you can listen to what the drivers are saying.
Or good.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All righty. So a restart coming up with 18 laps to go here. It's Steele Langford and Aaron Raymond, row number 1. Billy Snodgrass, Tyler McRae, row 2. Kyle Bartles, Jeff Byers, row number 3. Row 4, Travis Sukup and Jimmy Johnson. And rounding out the top 10, Nick Jadzaboski and R. Hendren. Well, this is going to be an interesting restart coming back to green. We know everybody here can at least go the distance with the exception of the top 4. $11 drivers on the racetrack that have a chance at winning this one as we come back to green. Top 4 able to break away here from Kyle Bartles. This is going to be an interesting situation here in the rest of this race. You've got 2 or 3 dropping bomb drivers that are trying to gang up against the 17 of Steele Langford, who's pretty much all by himself. Side with more momentum entering turn number 1, led by the 10 of Aaron Raymond, then the 45 of Sukup, then it's Bartles, and then it's Sukup. Oh, I'm sorry. It was Raymond, then McRae. I'm sorry. I keep getting McRae and Sukup confused because I know McRae normally races the 13, Sukup normally is the 45. Raymond edges out ahead entering turn number 3. Byers tries to get the third line going. Langford tried to shut the door on the 10, but unable to do so, and that helps out the 99 of Billy Snodgrass. For the first time today, go to the lead with 15 to go. Talked about him earlier on today, how he was outside the top 10 for most of the race until that accident broke out with the leaders. Decide to stay out on that last pit stop, and is leading for the first time tonight with a push from Jimmy Johnson. New quickest lap of the day, and it belongs to the driver in 8th, Jadzaboski. Now in 9th, a 48.17. 2 other drivers posting their personal best today. Jimmy Johnson, 48.2. Jeff Byers, 48.46. As it's 3 wide for the lead, here comes the 39. And now Langford's got a friend in Jimmy Johnson, but unable to get behind him because he's got two guys below him. Still 3 wide for that second spot. Johnson a little bit squirrely. Trying to rotate on corner exit. Langford, nice run for that 88 of Kyle Bartles. We haven't talked about in a while. Paid on lap 41 as well. There's a bump to the 17, but Johnson pulls out ahead by just a bit. Jadzaboski loose below the white line. He keeps it straight. 13 laps to go. Tight between him and Raymond. There is not a whole lot of breathing room on the left side. Langford looking to get that race lead away. On board with them as the 99 tries to side draft off the 17. Ooh, leaders just about touch between Snodgrass and Langford. Johnson with the advantage once again. Coming to 12 laps to go, and now the racing is starting to get aggressive. First time today we have seen the leaders race 3 by 3 by 3. Oh, McRae contact off the 3700. Art's trying to hang on and save it. He's through in the grass. And luckily he keeps it straight, but he'll need a caution if he wants to get back in the running. Kenny Tripp watching from Florida. Kenny, hope you're staying safe. $11 laps to go here at Auto Club Speedway. Because of the deal with, I believe, McRae and Hendren, also separated Jazoboski and Sukab off the pack by just a bit. Billy Snodgrass still stuck in the middle. And Snodgrass is in that sucker hole. Nobody working with him in the middle line. And he is just trying as much as he can to rely on the side draft. And that actually worked. He may be able to clear Langford for second. The high side jumbles up here just a bit. And it's Johnson that leads with 10 to go. Jazoboski and Sukab have caught back up to the leaders. And it's Snodgrass that looks for the lead here. Could be a big bump draft coming from Kyle Bartels. There it is. Bang! Right to the lead goes the 99. As he pulls ahead in front barely. Low line is loose. Aaron Raymond got a little squirrely on corner exit. 9 to go. Hurd up there makes some slight contact with McRae as he tries to side draft his way. He's running in the 5th position. Raymond trying everything. Oh, Hurd gets turned off the 17. Langford trying to keep it off the wall. And the 3rd caution flies with 9 to go. And ooh, baby, this is going to get interesting now. Saw Jeff Byers as well, looking at the front end. Front end bent just a little bit. I don't know if it's too much, though. Certainly, there will definitely be aero damage on the 94. Race control will review it. Let's get you an idea on what happened here.
You should.
Yep, just slightly hooked.
Pace car back shit.
How many?
94 in the wall. Good job from Steele Langford. Keep it off that inside wall, and a nice job from Jazoboski to dodge that bullet.
But let's not make it unlimited, please.
World's longest iRacing race.
Right there. Not a heavy crash like we saw with Joe Hurd and Blake Wynn. A couple of drivers playing possum here. But Hendren, Byers, Langford, Brancaccio. Top off and or change some tires here for this final restart. They have a bunch of sets left.
All right, 17, he dipped down just a little bit. Got the right rear of the 94 and turned 94. Was coming off of turn 2, going down the backstretch, so going to give a black to the 17.
So we'll come to 1 to green this time by for a 5-lap shootout. And to determine who wins this one.
Just let me know when you hit pit road and I'll clear your black.
Alrighty, so this is going to be a fun restart coming up here. 5 laps to go. Determine who wins this one. Let us know who you're rooting for in the chat. Jimmy Johnson looking for his first win of the year and continue the EHP dominance. Next to him, Billy Snodgrass looking for road win number 2. Aaron Raymond in third. He's been trying so hard for that first win, but has been unable to capture the checkers. Kyle Bartles in row number 2. Tyler McRae rounds out the top 5. Always a good street stock driver. He's looking for win number 1 of the season. Travis Sukup next to him is in the 6th spot. Jazoboski 7th. Brancaccio 8th. Hendren 9th. Langford rounds out the top 10. Five laps to go. 11 drivers have a chance to win it here at Auto Club. That number will go down each and every lap most likely, and we'll tell you at the final lap who's got a chance to win it. Push from the inside line as McRae decides to go bottom and work with his teammate and Aaron Raymond. And look how sideways Raymond is off the corner. McRae has to let off the throttle because of it. And nobody wants to work with Billy Snodgrass for that race lead. Langford goes into the pits to serve his penalty. 4 laps to go in California. Jimmy Johnson led it barely at the line. Seven cars all in this lead pack. Hendren, Johnny B, and Byers have all faded out. And now Bartles and Jazoboski pull up to the back of the 99, but Jazoboski wants to create a third line here. One car, 2 cars, 3 cars. It's a pyramid amongst the front 6 drivers. 3 laps to go at Auto Club Speedway. And Jazoboski is left all the way up the racetrack. And he loses a little bit of track time. Johnson leads at the line. On board that 99 of Snodgrass. Go from the rear end. Oh, trouble! The 45 goes around in McCrae. We're headed to overtime. Everybody scatters. Yellow flag.
We still on the radio for the restart to look out for you.
That's a tough break for Tyler. And once again, late in the race, just like he had at his heat race, will not have a chance to win it. Let's watch this in real
If you're
time.
worried about me, you must be pretty damn slow, because I run about 18th every week.
Ooh, Jazaboski got in.
I mean, I am, because you hooked me there. There's something to be worried about.
On the back stretch.
Just give me a 2-2, guys.
Let's get a look at it. There was Jazaboski. Slightly touched him there. Bam. Didn't see that one coming. So, folks, we're headed to our first overtime of the night. Did you even expect it to not go into overtime?
Two.
Alright, well, the 45 and the 82 are both going to get an EOL. They kind of just met right there in the middle. 45 drifted up a little bit. 82 also come down. They hooked. And away she went. So both will just receive an EOL.
So you all know the restart, how overtime works. If the yellow flies before the white flag, keep doing it again and again and again and again. Once we take the white flag, we go to the checkers. No cautions at the white flag.
Let's pull up.
I misread it. I thought this was coming to the green.
Field is doubled up. We'll go to green just a moment.
Alright guys, let's get lined up. Hopefully this is the only green-white checkered. Got a feeling it ain't going to be, but let's get lined up, have a good fun race here to the end.
Alrighty. So here we go. Overtime is set to commence. Snodgrass and Johnson, row 1. Bartles and Richmond, Bartles and Raymond, row 2. Sukup and Hendren, row number 3. Brancaccio Byers, row 4. Langton, Jazaboski, round out the top 10. Who's it going to be done? Who's it going to be and how's it going to be done? There's always a favorite. Pick it ASAP. Snodgrass, Johnson, bring us to green. 2 laps to go. Johnson did not get going. That helps out Billy Snodgrass propel ahead. Snodgrass goes up. Not sure about that move because Kyle Bartels has some momentum for the race lead. It's 3 wide. Johnson threads the needle. Risky move by Billy Snodgrass, and it leaves Bartels and Johnson door to door. Aaron Raymond behind them in 3rd. Top 3 looking for win 1 on the season. They come to the white flag this time by 2 miles remain at Auto Club Speedway. Kyle Bartels, Jimmy Johnson, R11, or maybe even Aaron Raymond of the field. About to see who can get her done. Johnson gets a bump draft from Billy Snodgrass, gets him sideways. Oh, Johnson gets overturned. Kyle Bartels avoids it barely. Raymond goes sideways. The whole pack crashes with the exception of Kyle Bartels. Travis Sukup and Steele Langford try to get the draft off the leader. But with them side by side, I don't think it's going to work, though. It's down to a quarter second. Sukup may have one last shot here in the center of 3 and 4. It's down to 2 car lengths. Here they come to the home stretch. Less than half a mile. Kyle Bartels, the checkered flag, the CRX 88, win 1 on the season at Auto Club. I legit thought that Bartels was going to get turned there off of Aaron Raymond and that we would not know who was going to win it. But Steele Langford with a 3rd place finish pretty much wraps up the championship. But Kyle Bartels with a phenomenal drive. So Bartels about to do a burnout here. Let's go back to that white flag and watch all the commotion that happened. Starts here. Snodgrass and Johnson simply touch Raymond. Wow, man. Bartels, that's probably the wreck avoidance of his life right there. If not, then it's side by side between Sukup and Langford for the win. But that, ladies and gentlemen, was something wild. So pull up your official results. Hopefully we have a chance to talk with Travis Sukup. But it's Bartels the winner by 85 thousandths. Sukup 2nd, Langford 3rd, Byers 4th. How about Johnny B? Dodging that wreck and finishing in the top 5. Good for him. Jazaboski 6th. Johnson and Raymond with the spin 7th and 8th. Same with Snodgrass the 9th. R11 though does get a top 10 finish. Look at the rest of the field here on the bottom. That all finished on a lap down at least. So with that being said, it's time to begin the proceedings. We do not have Travis Sukup, but we do have Steele Langford. Let's talk with him. Steele, great run for you tonight, especially after recovering from the spin. Did you feel like if you and Sukup were not side by side going down the back chute that you two would have had something for Kyle?
Probably not.
Well, as a whole though, how did your car feel tonight driving it?
It felt pretty good. It was a good setup. You could run it like wide open all the way around, and it was pretty good driving piece that we had.
Well, this pretty much just wraps up the number 17 team for the championship and the EHP team. How good is that? Most likely next week that whatever happens, you guys pretty much have this wrapped up.
Yeah, me and Kendrick have we've done pretty well in it this year. I think this may have been my fourth race in the 17. I'm not sure. Hate I never got a win in it. But I'm not sure what I'm gonna be driving at Langley. Hopefully, I'll be in the 17 and can have another shot at winning. But just thanks to Austin and for giving me the opportunity to drive it, and Kendrick and everybody at EHP.
Alrighty, sounds good. Well, we'll let you go. Great job tonight.
Yep, thank you.
Steel Langford, our third place finisher. Second place finisher tonight, Travis Suka. First off, Travis, I keep getting you and Tyler confused throughout the night here. What a run you had. I asked Steele the same question. He said probably not, but I want to know from your perspective. If you and Steele were not side by side, did you feel like that you would have had a really good shot at Kyle for the win because he was too far out in front?
No, I think he had it. I didn't want to cause a problem. I think he was doing a good job holding it, so I don't think I could have got him.
Well, you were hoping that he was going to be a part of that incident, huh? So you and Steele would have had the better shots at the win?
Yeah, that would work out, but he's always run me clean, so the 88, I should say. So I definitely didn't want to get into him.
Well, you were the biggest mover tonight, starting from 13th, making your way up to second. How well did this car maneuver in the draft?
Oh, pretty good. I think I spent most of the race was just dodging the people I didn't want to be next to.
Okay. Well, who do you want to give shout-outs to on the run?
Just Steve for the opportunity. Have a good time. Steve and all the Riding Dirty people. We have a good time doing it.
Sounds
and
good.
then the league. It's a fun league. We've had a good time.
Well, we'll let you go. Great job tonight, and look forward to seeing you in 2 weeks.
All right. See you then. Thank you.
Travis Suka finishing in the runner-up spot. But now we go to victory lane to talk with your winner, Kyle Bartles, his first ever win. Kyle, you probably have to be the luckiest man, or probably having a big breath of relief, because I thought you were done when that wreck happened in turn 2.
No, I just sent it.
You just sent it.
Yeah, I really thought it was done too. Really, I didn't think I was gonna win this thing. I was telling the guys there. But yeah, how I was gonna restart with Billy there. We were kind of talking to each other on that restart, so that's why we nailed it so well. We got out front, and yeah, the outside got going really quick. I didn't think the outside was gonna get going so quick with just 2 to go as a green-white checkered there. Just not couldn't get that energy going. So, but they did there, and Billy went up a little bit later than I thought, and I just couldn't get out there, and I just had to go because I was getting pounded in the rear there, and if I would have let up, I would have been spun around. But no, great win. Unfortunately, my 2 teammates got wrecked out, but I thought it was gonna be harder, and I thought it was gonna be harder than that, but yeah, I just got lucky there, as you saw it. So.
Yeah. Absolutely. How's it feel, though, to put the CRX car in victory lane? I know a couple weeks ago, Jeff Byers put it in victory lane working with you. Now you finally get win 1.
Yeah, I feel better now. I've had more starts, so I've been kind of itching for one, especially for a fixed set. I'm not really big on the open sets. Just one of those kind of top 5 top 10 kind of guys in those races. Don't really have the dominant car, and these races really really open it up. So this is where I'm usually really strong here. So
Well, 2 weeks. In 2 weeks we go to Langley for the season finale. What's your outlook look like?
just hopefully have a great finish. Hoping I think ninth in points before tonight. I don't know what I would be. What seventh ish? I don't know.
Well, who do you want to give shout outs to on this run?
Colgan Enterprise, of course. CRX car. Robert Colgan. Joe and Jeff had a great run there. Thought Joe was going to get it. He was out front most of the night, so sucks that he got wrecked out again. He just not having the great luck. But shout out to Joe. Joe Hurd there.
Alrighty, well, we'll let you go. Congratulations on the win, Kyle. Enjoy it.
Thanks, Marty.
Kyle Bartles, he's your winner in victory lane this evening, and here's how close it was to the start-finish line. One more lap, I think it's either Sukup or Langford there, but here they come to the stripe, and it's Kyle Bartles that gets the job done. So that'll do it for us here again. 2 weeks from now, we head to Langley Speedway for our final back-to-front challenge and the final race of the season. So that'll do it for us here this evening on behalf of everyone here at Colgan Racing Xperience, Robert Colgan and his fine group of admins. Marty Scala signing off. Your winner tonight, Kyle Bartles, gets the job done. Thanks for tuning in. We hope to see you at a race down the road. So long.